Good morning and welcome to the first episode of the Maxxxing podcast, a new kind of podcast. It's basically a mix between a motivational podcast and accountability podcast. I'm CQ with the co-host.
I am Jay Silva Cruz, man of many hats.
Right. Many hats. And we wanted to make a podcast that is going to be about, our entrepreneurial journey as it started from zero. So you guys to see us dig the foundation, build a house, and hopefully turn it into a mansion. And we wanted to do something that will let people follow along and also inspire people who are, in their own situations and going upon their own entrepreneurial journeys and just kind of starting over from scratch. Do you want to tell them what min-maxing is all about, or do you want me to read the definition?
I mean, there's probably a definition, but I'm going to go with my definition. Essentially, I love RPGs. I've been a Japanese RPG and an American RPG player for a long time. And, there's this saying essentially that, like, you can't max out all your stats. So, in certain places, you're going to have lower attributes than others. And so the whole point of min-maxing, in my opinion, is, minimizing the things you don't need as much at the moment and maximizing the ones you do. And that's how you become as being the best productive or as productive as possible. I'm sorry. And so that's what this is about. It's about what we're going to maximize on for the day. We're not going to talk about what we're minimizing, but we also have to understand that, like, hey, if we're maximizing in a certain area, then there's going to be some areas with deficit. And I think that that's something that we have to understand as people is we sometimes get caught up in, like, being the best at every single thing, but you can't. Like, it's impossible for you to be the most intelligent and the strongest. Like, it's possible. You could literally read books all day and work out all day, but then, like, somewhere down the line, like, there's gonna be somewhere that's gonna have some kind of deficiency. So I think that it's okay to, like, max out one place and minimize the other, and then maybe you switch it up another day. So that's my definition of min-maxing, and that's why we decided to do this podcast. Did I get the definition right? Was it pretty much?
Yeah, pretty much on point. So the official definition from Google AI is min-maxing is a strategy of optimizing a character or situation by maximizing strengths and minimizing weaknesses. It's used in video games, role-playing games, artificial intelligence, and software development. So I think you got it pretty much on the money. It's all about realizing your attributes, realizing what you're good at, realizing what you're not so good at, acknowledging it, and not having that Superman mentality of, like, I can fix everything, which we all do, but I can fix everything. I could do everything by myself in every single situation. You have to acknowledge in certain situations, you got to lean into certain strengths. In other situations, you need to work on improving those weaknesses, because in those situations, you need your weak side more than your strong side, if that makes sense. But, the big thing about it is first, self-reflecting on yourself, right? Like figuring out what's your stats and where your attribute or a skill chart or whatever you want to call it, what do you do well? You could write that down, you could think it out, you could speak it. There's so many ways, but figure out what you're good at, then figure out what you're not so good at. And by acknowledging that, it really gives you a really good perspective to start your day and, go out and accomplish your goals.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And there's no weaknesses, like,
No.
I think that, like, in games you say there's weaknesses, but, like, in life, like, there's no weaknesses. It's just, like, places that you can always improve on. And, like, obviously, maybe it's too late for me to learn 20 other languages. So maybe language is a slight weakness, but I can learn too.
Exactly.
So I think that that's the big thing that we're trying to draw upon here is, like, how we're maximizing our days, what I'm saying, what we're going to be doing with our days, and, like, kind of giving you guys a little insight into, like, what it's like to kind of quit your job and try something completely different, brand new.
Exactly. And, just put the to lay the landscape out. We're both unemployed, both pretty much self-inflicted unemployment. To start, different journeys. We both have been in business for a while, both from the luxury watch background. I'm continuing in the luxury watch space, setting up my own consultancy firm, agency, marketing, all in one type of situation in the luxury watch world, and expanding upon, content in that area, and just trying to build my own independent business, a broker plus, basically.
Yeah, which is the smart way to do it, unlike me, who's doing content about cartoon characters and making music, along with day trading crypto. So there's two sides to every coin, and I'm clearly going on the high risk side of things. But I do have a passion for Japanese animation. I've been watching it for at least 23 to 24 years. I've been making music for almost around the same amount of time. And so I figured, why not try to marry them and try to, learn how to edit and pretty much produce everything myself and see how that goes. The crypto side of things, I mean, you'll probably get an update daily from me on how terrible my portfolio is doing. But then maybe one day you'll see us out in Dubai, paid by a cat in a hat by the name of a no shilling.
Yeah,
No shilling. I apologize. No shilling.
No shilling. Yeah, but there's a lot of ways to climb up a tree to scratch the itch, right? I'm doing the watch stuff. I'm also doing a little bit of tour stuff in the Caribbean. I'm getting that set up in our home island of Virgin Islands. But there's many ways to get to your goal. But you have to define your goal. And like Jay's doing, you have to lean into your passion. I happen to be very passionate about watches. I fell into the industry, but have been very lucky because of passion and hard work to achieve very amazing heights that I never thought I've been able to, opening and managing a store in Dubai that did over $24 million a year for a couple of years before, situations had to close it. But I never think, I'd be in that situation. So here we are starting from scratch, and it's Monday. Economy may be a little shaky today. Maybe I don't know if in the morning is the best time to do. Maybe on a Friday we'll do like a market reaction and just look at how the market did for the week. But I guess I'll start with my day today. I gotta really attack shorts. I'm very good at long form video. I think I honed my craft there. But shorts is where I'm going to be able to feed myself and feed the family, right? Because that's just where you're going to get a lot more interaction a little bit faster. You're going to get a bigger spread. My YouTube videos, I think they're good. I think people are liking them, but they're very long and they're a little bit different. I'm trying to have a surgical approach to what to my business, and instead of making content that's going to be very, very broad, I want to make content focused on people who could really use it and use that advice. So I got to really figure out how to balance it with also I need followers, I need to get the viewers and stuff. So I think shorts will be a very, very good balance for me. So that's my goal, to master shorts. I have a long form video on a watch auction that I shot on Sunday that I'm going to edit and post out today, and I have a short on Audemars Piguet that I'm going to finish. And I'd like to shoot another short today. There is a little bit of a thunderstorm situation happening, so it'll be an inside short. But I think that's very doable for my day. On the business side, I do have a few deals to chase. So it's gonna be a full day. It's gonna be a Monday. That's for sure. What about you?
So I've actually been working mostly on shorts. Just given the type of content that I'm doing, I've found that, I do eventually need to do long form, and it's something that I want to work on, especially this weekend. But I found that, given that anime content is usually quick hitting, a lot of people want the information fast. I've gravitated, excuse me, I've gravitated to shorter form content for the very beginning. And my whole thing is I'm just trying different things. At first, I started with just doing reviews, and then I started doing AMVs. And now I am trying to compare animes to different states and foods. Today, I'm going to be doing the most hated characters, or at least my most hated characters. So I think that for me, whereas Sequan will be using some news and different things, and I think that he has some creative ways of retelling stories within the watch industry. For me, it's a lot about just kind of throwing things out, seeing what people like. Because I would be lying to you if I said I would be lying to you if I said that there wasn't a lot of anime content out there. There is. There's a lot of great quality content. So it is a competitive space. So it's about kind of finding what's gonna resonate with people today, and also building that community, because you're selling yourself. Both of us, what we're doing right now, we're selling ourselves as a product, and where Sequan can sell a watch, given what he's making, the content he's making. I still haven't figured out what I'm selling. And so that's a daily struggle for me. So as of right now, I'm working on shorts. I'm working on that the 5 most hated anime characters. But on a daily basis, I'm wondering, hey, do I do merch? Do I sell Patreon? Even though I think that those things are far away, not far away, but I'm a few months away. I need to get a little bit more people in my community. It's an everyday struggle trying to figure out, well, how are you going to monetize this? You know, and it shouldn't be about monetization, but as we said, we're both not working, so it's going to be something we need to look into pretty soon.
Yeah, the monetization is always, is always a balancing act, right? Because you want to give education, you want to give content, but you also have to, support yourself. And like you said, I'm a little bit lucky with the watches. It's all kind of structured. I can write a book. I can sell that. I can sell my services a la carte. I can help brands out. There's a lot of different ways that I can, put my services into a menu and offer that menu out. With your side, you got to figure out the service. It's a much more open-ended thing because the ceiling for you is really the sky. The ceiling for me is high as well, but just the volume of people. Once your community is built to a certain base, you see so many streamers now in so many different niches just have such great success by finding their community, and then they support them. So many, but whether merch, direct likes, or PayPal, or Cash App, or community events, or things like that. And I think the one thing that we have is our age range. We're in our mid-30s, and I think you doing anime content in your mid-30s and like not leaning into be a younger person, you get to activate all the people in that 30s to 40s age range who are anime fans, have some money, have some income coming in, who are willing to support, right? 'Cause I think definitely, when I finally was able to have some funds, I wouldn't mind supporting somebody who gave me really good content, whether it be $5 or maybe more for a Patreon. Maybe I'm not gonna stick on your Patreon for a whole year, but I'll give somebody $25 if the content is worth it. So I think you're in the desert looking for the oasis, but I think once you find it, you'll be able to build your Babylon. Oh, that's a good one. Build your Babylon.
I don't know if I want to build Babylon because that's essentially where they forgot the languages, right? Or like,
yeah,
isn't that like that? That's where like different languages came about. If you believe in the biblical stuff, so I mean, Babylon,
There's a lot of different ways. We're going to get people, just by us saying this, we're going to get people, educate us in the comments, educate
correct us if we were wrong. We know that you guys love doing that.
Exactly. So that's kind of what we got going for today. We started a little bit late today getting the technology right, and daylight savings and rain and all a bunch of excuses. We got to somehow make it to the gym today to at least do some cardio and get some of that going. What else do we have for the day? Nothing really else for the day.
We got to season this damn chicken. We bought chicken a week ago. It's being kept well, but salted meat lasts longer than unsalted meat.
So that's actually the priority of the day is to season the chicken.
Don't be surprised if you see a cooking channel come out eventually of us. Just
we could do a decent one. If I had a grill, I think if we had an outside
air fryer and a charring pan of some sort.
Yeah. Maybe a salt rack. So we got to season the chicken. All right, so I'm gonna leave you guys with some seasoning. I'm gonna leave you with the story of the polar bear. So when I'm in group environments and still environments, I always talk about polar bear mentality. PMA, positive mental attitude, is the thing that you have to walk with you every day. That's what you lean into in the morning. But polar bear mentality is what you think about on those tough times, in those rough days when you don't know, where your next meal is going to come from. You're skipping from iceberg to iceberg as the ice shelves are breaking. You're swimming for days and days on end, just trying to figure out what's going on. And you have to remember, when you shave a polar bear, it's actually a black bear underneath. So that means at a certain point, there was a polar bear who wanted to survive so much that he turned his hair from black to white. And that's what you have to have. You have to have that polar bear mentality. No matter where you are, you're going to fit in and you're going to make your situation work out for you. No matter how far you're going to walk, you're going to find that next seal. No matter, how many hours you're going to have to swim in frigid water, you're going to have to do what it takes to get your kill and bring it home to do it all over the next day. That is a polar bear mentality. A polar bear will sniff a trace of blood from miles away and just head in that direction with just hope. with just hope and the knowledge that if an opportunity presents itself to that polar bear, they know 10,000% they can execute on that opportunity. And that is what you need to have today. That's your seasoning for today. I might steal that slogan. Hope you guys have an amazing day out there. Kill your Monday today. We're going to get this uploaded and see you later.
Min-max out.
Min-max out. Boom, that's beautiful.